I talked to Chiasson. He says it's far different when you score goals. All of a sudden, you're being checked. When you're a role player, you don't have to worry too much about that. Have you noticed that in the stretch where he hasn't been able to score, that all of a sudden, if they're not circling his name on a whiteboard, then they certainly know he's out there?
Yeah, I think it's more in D zone though. I think the coverage is tighter, and I think also sometimes it's a little bit on the player himself too. I think sometimes you get overthinking, you get worried about the end result rather than just continuing to play. And I think yesterday he was much better at creating space for himself. His goals have all come from boxing out somebody himself. Like if you look at the collage of his goals, they're all very similar. Where he's knocked somebody off a puck in a tight scoring area and then scored himself. And I think sometimes you get obsessed with the end result and get away from your game. But he looked like he was on the mark yesterday.
Glenn Galton was leading practice today. What was the reasoning behind that, and what did you gather from watching?
I don't like going on the ice when there's guys missing. So we had 4 or 5 guys missing today, nursing some bangs and bruises. And I think to me, it's more effective if I'm going to run it, then it's a full practice. And anything that's partial, I prefer that the assistant coaches and I think new drills are important. You know, like I'd never seen some of these drills, and the players haven't seen them since really training camp. So it's good to kind of keep things fresh, especially at this time of year. You know, they had fun at the end, and hopefully they bring that energy tomorrow.
Benning looks like he can maybe play, or he thinks in his own mind he's could maybe play.
Yeah, he thinks he's close. We'll see, but we also liked Petrovic yesterday. He played very, very well, and you know, I think right now moving forward for tomorrow's game, we're going to keep the 6 defensemen the same. We've got some injuries up front that we're going to have to decide here in the next little while if we're going to have enough bodies or we're going to have to bring somebody in. We're not really sure right now.
Broads will play no matter what, though, Broads, because if you're not sure if guys are hurt, Broads, yeah, go play.
He'll play for sure. But like I said, we had 2 or 3 today, and we'll see if they're ready to go tomorrow.
Who's going to play goal?
Koskinen.
How do you think he played? He was very down on that one goal. He says that's a bad goal.
Yeah, he was.
In a tight game.
I look at it as you're not going to score 1 goal on the road and win. You know, you're going to have to score 2 or 3 to win. But, you know, it's small momentum, but I think those are the goals that we've got to resolve. Those short side goals have got to get fixed, you know. So I know that Dustin really and Koski too really worked hard on solving it, but it reared its head yesterday.
Sekera, I mean, you'd love to have him here, but obviously 2 more games down there probably won't hurt him.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of second and third reports on it, so I think health-wise he's fine. I think tempo-wise he's good for there. I think the next degree is when I think it's more the contact and the awareness on the ice. It's working with 5 other people or 4 other people on the ice that is still uncomfortable to him. But then we've got to see, can he keep up to the pace when he comes up here? Because, you know, you're in the middle of playoff drives for teams, so you're going to see playoff type hockey, and I think he wants to get as comfortable. It's more the relationship with other people on the ice that he's a little bit uncomfortable with, and that's something that we've got to. I don't think we're going to be able to see that until he actually gets up and plays now.
Is there a fine line as a coach when you have 2 players like Leon and Connor so good offensively, and they start not cheating, but they're trying to get goals, and defensively they either lose their man or what? Is there?
I don't think it's that, but I think what happens when you put, and we talked about that today, when you put top players on the same line and they get extended, that's when they get in trouble. Their shifts gets extended, and that's what we said, look, you're going to play a lot, there's players that play a lot of minutes in the game, but your shifts have to be consistent and strict.
40 seconds.
Yeah, and if you get extended, it's hard for those players when you're playing them as a three-line rotation to come back and have energy. And the shift that they got scored on is a little bit my fault because I kind of didn't realize until they were 20 seconds into the shift or 15 seconds into the shift that they didn't have energy, and then they got stuck in their own zone. And I think that's the key thing is you can't let yourself get extended on the ice. You can't try for the one more rush down the ice. You got to get off because you know you're going to be back out there. And really effectively we're playing a three-line rotation, not four. And you know, we're kind of alternating the third and fourth line as the third line. So
As Sekera, I know he's been playing with, obviously he's banged up a little, but he always looks like he should give you more. He's got, but in terms of scoring a goal, he scored 3 goals all year, and yet he's got the puck a lot.
yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think for him to get to the next level, quite frankly, he's going to have a quicker stick. So if he gets a quicker stick, he's going to be able to score 10 to 20 goals. But and that's a learned skill. It's something that these guys work with him a lot on. But that's the next step for him, because if you look, it's the scoring chances that get deflected. It's the scoring chances that hit skates and sticks and things. It's the slowness at getting it away. We need him to speed up his stick. That's something we're working with him hard on. But you're right. He looks like he should get a lot more scoring chances, a lot more. But at the end of the day, when you're overhandling it, then you're going to get checked.